Okay, so hello and welcome to this second live session on computer graphics. So we already had one live session earlier. Now, as I said in the previous live session, so the main purpose of the live sessions is to basically interact with the learners. So here I am not going to deliver any lecture. So please don't wait for me to deliver any lecture. If you are there in the session and waiting, please come forward. If you have any queries, if you have any doubt related to whatever has been taught, whatever topics are covered, this is the right time and place to raise your doubts, your queries, and interact with me. Here we will devote the time for clearing all your queries or doubts related to the course. So please restrict your queries to whatever has been covered in the course rather than a very generic or broad topics. And I will be waiting for your queries to come. I will not deliver any lecture here. So please don't wait for me to deliver any lecture. So I have few queries I can see already posted by some of the learners. Let me just read out. If they are there, they can come up with further queries for discussion. Meanwhile, let me just read out the queries. Okay, so I already have received few queries. Let me just read those out one by one. Rosni Hawk, okay, no query. And then Cassandra, are there mock tests available to practice the upcoming final exam and get an idea on the exam format? So unfortunately, there will be no mock tests from my side. So there will be no such practice sessions. However, the exam format will be multiple choice or short answer type. So it will be similar in nature to the assignments given. Of course, there will be variation in the difficulty levels of the questions, but nature will be similar, that is objective types. Next is Deepsankar Jha. Are the questions in NPTEL exam similar to ones given in assignment? Can we have question papers from past years for practice? Okay, so as I just said, by nature, the questions will be similar to assignment, that is all objective types. There will be no subjective questions. And question paper from past years, I generally do not have any such provision as part of the course. So probably that is not forthcoming. But the questions will be all objective types, including MCQ, short answer types, one-word answer types, and so on. What will be the pattern of the question paper for the final exam and how should we prepare for it? That is by Aditya Mukherjee. Okay, so all are related to exams. Now, here the pattern, as I said in my response to the previous queries, it will be objective types comprising of MCQs, fill in the blanks, short answer, single word answer, and so on, with varying levels of difficulty. And some will be relying on whatever is there in the lecture directly, recall type, and a little bit more on the conceptual types. So you can actually prepare accordingly, try to understand the concepts, whatever has been covered. So the question paper will cover the entire syllabus, entire course. Question will come from all parts of the course. So if you go through all the lectures or the transcripts, then you should be able to easily answer the recall type questions, which will be in majority, and there will be few questions which are relying on your understanding of the concepts, topics, and applying the knowledge. So that requires deeper understanding of the topics. Then Nishant Bhaskar. Hello, sir. What are the internship opportunities for computer graphics for someone who wants to work in game development industry? Yes, computer graphics is the foundation for many technology areas, application areas, including game development, as well as virtual reality, augmented reality, or immersive experience, immersive systems. So certainly computer graphics knowledge will help you in doing internship in such application areas. If you get the opportunity, your chances of getting such opportunities will increase if you complete the course and show it to the potential recruiters. Whoever works in the game development industry, they need to understand the basics of graphics pipeline. And if you have knowledge of that, that will be added advantage. Certainly, recruiters will give priority to such interns. Manoranjan Behera, I want to ask about exam pattern, number of questions, MCQ or subjective. I think I have already clarified on all these points. Pattern will be objective types. Number of questions, I don't exactly recollect at this stage. However, it will be of 3 hours duration. The exam will be of 3 hours duration. So accordingly, the numbers will be there. Total marks 100. And it will be objective types comprising of MCQs as well as other objective type questions such as fill in the blanks, pattern matching, or single word answers. Okay, so those are the queries that I have got from the learners. And now another queries are in the course. We understand how this is computer graphics works from base, but how they are connected to the future fields in this. Okay, so the question is, I think, incomplete. We understand how. So this course is meant for creating the foundation. Certainly, in a single course, it is not possible to give all possible directions that computer graphics foundation can take you to. Now, this foundation is relevant for many things, including game, including any interactive system development, including in specifically virtual and augmented reality systems. So these are some of the major areas. In fact, any system that deals with display, visualization, display, requires a foundation in computer graphics. So anything that you encounter where you think that the user is going to need a display to view things, to understand, perceive things, then there you will require the knowledge of computer graphics. Prashant, did I answer your query? Because it appears that your query is incomplete, or you have something else in your mind. Prashant, are you there? So I appreciate if you can come up with some specific query. This is a very broad thing. Computer graphics is foundation to understand how displays work. Now advancement or development has taken place in many domains, and not all domains are related to displays. So there certainly computer graphics knowledge will not be helpful, such as quantum computing or say development in network protocols. So their computer graphics knowledge may not be helpful. However, when we are talking of say video on demand or say online video services or movie quality or game development, now typically those are delivered nowadays, typically those are delivered over a network. I'm just giving an example. Now, when you are trying to deliver something over a network, there are many factors, including bandwidth, including latency, and so on. So, such cases, so there you require optimized approaches, engineered approaches. Now, there, if you want to optimize bandwidth, optimize latency, or improve quality of experience, you need to know how the rendering works. Now that knowledge will come only from computer graphics. So when you are suppose watching a movie on an OTT platform, how from server the movie is rendered on the on your device, it involves network part as well as rendering part. Now rendering part certainly will come from knowledge of computer graphics. Networking part is a different technology domain. However, you can optimize the experience by combining them together, networking part as well as graphics part, rendering part, only if you know both. Certainly in such cases, computer graphics will be helpful. Similarly, if you are now this concept of metaverse is there, if you want to create a metaverse experience, you need to know rendering. And rendering requires knowledge of computer graphics, along with many other expertise in other domains. I am not saying that only computer graphics knowledge will help you build a nice OTT movie watching experience or a system which provides a nice movie watching experience or a nice metaverse application. Computer graphics is one component and an essential component where displays involved. In that sense, you can think of all the modern developments where multiple expertise from multiple domains are involved, including computer graphics, and also computer graphics is an essential expertise that you will require. I hope I have been able to clear your doubt. Let me move to the next one. Will the questions in the proctored final exam also come from the weekly assignment? Of course, the questions will not come directly from the weekly assignments. All questions, some may come, others will come from different, it will be coming not from the assignments, but the pattern will be similar. All will be objective types. Difficulty levels will vary from very simple to a little bit complex. and but all will be objective type. Then another question is final exam, any model question provide display the screen. Well, I could not understand the question. Final exam, it any model question provide display the screen. Probably you are trying to refer to model questions for final exams. If I have understood it correctly, there will be no model questions as such. However, if you wish to prepare, you go through all the lectures, transcripts. So majority of the questions will be recall type. So if you go through the lectures or transcripts, you should be able to answer majority of the questions. And some component will be on understanding of the concepts. They may not be directly coming from the content, but should be answerable if you have understood the topics. So in such cases, you have to use your understanding. In other cases, it will be mostly recall type. Okay. Another question come. Wanted to ask how much, what mathematics core topics should be learned, revised that can come in the exam or asked directly in the graphics pipeline. Well, so whatever has been discussed in the lectures, including the matrix concepts, homogeneous coordinate systems, mostly matrix algebra, whatever has been discussed, those or concepts related to those will be required to answer few of the questions in the exams. Beyond that, nothing else is required. So just follow the lectures, try to understand the mathematics, whatever has been covered there. Not everything will be required, but concepts related to some of those will be required. Prashant, I feel some lack in the video lecture as they are mainly theoretical based. It might be very helpful and understandable if you add some practical implementation as it more interact. Okay, that is a good. So I hope that you have gone through the OpenGL part that was there at the end of the lecture. So I don't know whether you have gone through the last weeks of lecture, last week lectures. There are some practical, of course, at a very basic level, a practical idea was given on how to program in computer graphics using OpenGL. Now, anything higher than that, say, for example, how do you build a game or how do you build a virtual reality or immersive system? That will be beyond the scope of this current course, and those are part of other courses probably. However, I will see if those can be included in future offerings of the course, but thank you for the suggestion. And okay, since you have not yet gone through the last week's lectures, so probably it will give you some feel of how to actually write a program using the OpenGL library functions. Samir, will there be negative marking? No, there will be no negative marking in the examination. Okay. What to study after this course? So as to build second and third graphic animation. So 2D and 3D. Okay, sorry. What course can we do after this course? Okay, so essentially this is what should be the next. Now, typically when you do graphics, then nowadays one very upcoming area is generative AI and also immersive technologies. Now, these two have now come closer. That means using generative AI animations. You may be already aware that images, animations, all these things are being generated, even videos. And immersive experience, that is there is very much upcoming area. Immersive systems, such as systems belonging to metaverse, which is being propagated. Lots of devices are coming. So once you understand the fundamentals of computer graphics, you can take up any courses related to animation or even computer vision to basically understand how the video can be analyzed and then from scenes can be generated from there. In fact, computer vision is a complementary course of computer graphics. Then you can take up courses related to virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, or in a broader sense, extended reality. You can even try to build systems where you can, so you can learn basics of generative AI, and you can try to build systems using generative AI, systems that include 2D or 3D graphics. So if you have basic understanding of graphics pipeline, then all these other courses will make sense to you. You will be able to easily follow them, easily complete them, and create your skill set. Okay, Alexa Fit. This is my first time giving an NPTEL proctored exam, so I am a little nervous. I am studying both the assignments and your lecture notes regularly. Okay, what I can suggest is that you should not be very nervous. Most of the questions will be very easy type. If you follow the lectures, then you should be able to answer majority of the questions. Only few will require a little bit deeper understanding of the topics. Even if you are not doing well in that part, that still won't make much difference because those will be very few and majority will rely on the recall type questions. So if you are following the assignments and the lecture notes, then you should be able to answer majority of the questions and should be able to clear the course with flying colors. So I don't think you should be nervous. I wish you all the very best and want to assure you that the questions are not as difficult as you might be imagining. And also please note that all are objective types. You don't need to write a lot and there is no negative marking. So don't be afraid, don't be nervous. Just attend the exam like any other exam. Be relaxed and attempt the questions. So I am sure that most of the questions will be very easy to answer, as those are directly taken from the lectures as well as the assignments. To also answer the question raised by Manish or Nimir, okay, so that what course to take up further. So I would just like to inform that next semester I will be offering one course on virtual reality systems, virtual and augmented reality systems, which you can think of as a follow-up course on computer graphics. So if you are interested, you can register for that course as well. Is this an undergraduate course? This is primarily meant for undergraduate, but if anyone wishes to understand more on graphics pipeline and otherwise do not have exposure to such courses, then whether they are undergraduate or postgraduate or even research students, they can join the course. It is at a very basic level to build the foundation based on which subsequent studies, research can be carried out. but it is primarily meant for breadth courses, which is typically undergraduate course. No, I don't think this can be understood at school level. So it is typically meant for third year or upward undergraduate students. And as I said, it also can be taken up by other students who may be postgraduate or research scholars who wishes to build or do something in problems related to computer graphics. This gives a foundation for such uh, advanced scholarship, advanced studies. And it is definitely not school level course. Thank you. Okay, so I am yet to see any more query. So just a reminder, I am here to interact with you rather than give a lecture, talk about any specific topic. So please feel free to come forward, raise your query if you have any. If there are no further queries, then we'll close the session. Maybe we'll wait for another few minutes, maybe 5 more minutes, and then can close it if no further queries come. Okay, which computer graphics concepts from this course are most directly used in real world projects like gaming or animation? All the stages in computer graphics are relevant for gaming or animation. Gaming is nothing but application of animation and interactive graphics, essentially. So all the stages, including representation, including modeling transformation, view transformation, projection, all these things, illumination, including texture synthesis, all these stages are relevant. So it is difficult to single out which is not relevant and which is relevant. In fact, that is not possible. However, for some gaming applications where realistic photorealism is involved, there may be texture synthesis on real images or real videos would be more applicable as compared to the lighting models, use of the lighting models, which are typically used for 3D models. Apart from that, animation involves few more stages than what we have covered in the basic pipeline that is discussed in this course. In particular, related to collision detection and keyframing, interpolation of intermediate frames. So these are stages that were not discussed in this pipeline. This pipeline was primarily meant for building a foundation on how a synthesized image is generated. However, moving image or animation is generated, that is a different thing, and a pipeline is slightly different. But whatever stages we covered in this pipeline, in this course, all stages are relevant. But inside each stage, maybe different components may be relevant. Say, for example, as I said, if we are looking for photorealistic games or animation or immersive experience, then probably texture synthesis is more relevant than lighting model calculations. If we are dealing with photorealism, then perspective projection is more relevant than parallel projections. In that way, you can think that some part of the stages may or may not be relevant depending on the kind of experience we wish to generate. I hope that answers your question. If not, please let me know. Okay, good to know that. So if you have any more query, please put it forward. We still have some time left. Okay, so what are the opportunities? As I already said in reply to one of the earlier questions, opportunities are manifold. This course is basically a foundation for or a stepping stone for uh, building skill sets on different domains, including computer vision, including generative AI, for uh, applications to interactive system development, as well as immersive technologies like computer vision, like virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality. Now, these are some of the well-known fields. Apart from that, any interactive systems that are to be used by the end users, which includes display and which are coming up nowadays, say, for example, smart uh, systems and this processing of drone imagery to basically come up with many solutions to many problems, smart agricultural systems, smart governance. These are all systems that has a strong visual component, and to build good quality systems, better systems, or improve on the latest technology, a foundation in computer graphics is mandatory. So my point is that if you have built a foundation, then you can use that as a stepping stone to diversify in any domain that relates to or that has a component of display or rendering at the user level. The immediate technology areas which is evolving are immersive technologies with huge applications. But there are other applications also where maybe apparently computer graphics may not be related, but it will provide a foundational uh, stepping stone. I am more interested in shader side of the CG, like cell shading, texture shading, so I can do any research with any professor on this topic. Yes, certainly you can do. I mean, if you found somebody who are actively working, there are many who are actively working both in India and abroad. If you can find somebody, you can find somebody. Certainly, you can do that, because in this course I have only given a very basic level explanation on shader programming. That is, in fact, more related to hardware, GPU, and efficient hardware level processing. So certainly that is one of the major research areas in computer graphics, advanced computer graphics. And it will be very good if you can take up that with some professor who is working in this area. And in relation to the previous question, what are the opportunities? Even I just mentioned about software development, application development, even on the hardware side, efficient processor design and associated challenges, particularly with respect to GPU. There are lots of opportunities: chip design, chip fabrication, and secure chip design. In fact, whole lot of areas are there, whole lot of opportunities are there, and all companies are investing in applications that require knowledge of computer graphics, both at hardware level and software level, mostly on consumer electronics side. So a lot of applications are there. And basic knowledge of computer graphics would certainly be helpful in taking up any of those application areas. I am not directly working on computer graphics related problems. However, I am working on an application of computer graphics, that is immersive technologies, virtual reality and augmented reality technologies. In fact, I am planning to offer another course on immersive technologies in the next semester. So I'm actively researching in that area. If you are interested, you can certainly be in touch. We can work out if jointly we can do something. Please drop me a mail. I will separately discuss this matter with you. You can mail me in my IITG mail ID, that is smitSomit@iitg.ac.in. You can see it from my website. So you can discuss it separately. Please also provide your details, including your latest CV, so that we can take the discussion forward. Okay, so I think we have almost came to the end of this live session. It was quite interesting. I have got lots of queries. I hope my answers satisfied you, whoever has put up the queries. Of course, this is the last live session, so after this, we are not going to meet in a live session again. So I take this opportunity to wish you all the very best for your upcoming exams, those who are appearing for the exams. And my suggestion is, don't be very nervous or afraid. Most of the questions will be coming directly from the slides or the transcripts, as well as similar to assignments. So those are mostly easy to answer. There will be few which requires deeper understanding, and I feel that those are also not that difficult to answer. So I hope you will be able to pass the exams with flying colors. And good luck to all of you. And in case you have further queries which we could not take up in this limited time, you are always welcome to drop me mails. I will try to respond to your queries as soon as possible. With that, I would like to end this session. Thank you very much once again and wish you all the very best. Anyone from NPTEL side, can you close the session? Okay, is it closed? I am leaving.